Good morning, Greg here, burning at both ends, burning on the front end of Sunday. It is June 10th, 2018, 9:36 a.m. Pacific. A little later start this morning with the post. Having some great family time this morning. We did some breakfast, just some hanging out, some talking. Yesterday we had a great celebration for my wife's birthday, so that was just fantastic. And and so we have a post this morning. We got some fun things going on. Great family weekend. I always find that, like, when I'm away from the family for a long period of time, coming back and just really piling a whole bunch of good quality time is really important. And so today we got ballet, we got play dates. My wife's going to have lunch with one of her really good friends. And so just a really good day, great day to prep for the week. And just kind of get organized. We got a lot of household chores to do, a lot of laundry to do, things like that. So, but I really, I enjoy those kinds of days, just the days where it's just, a lot of family, a lot of focus, a lot of organization, like family organization. So that way, we can really produce during the week. And so today's topic is something that really kind of came out of this DOE Energy I-Corps that I was just a part of. So we have, 9 teams, which is the cohort. Each team is about 3 to 4 people. And so there's lots of team interaction, within the team, team to team, with the instructors, and lots of, I'll notice hesitance in this team environment to contribute sometimes. And so this is where this learning in public and ugly sketch concept comes in. So let me explain a little bit. So in my opinion, or my experience, successful collaboration can benefit from a good dose of humility and vulnerability, right? Creating a safe space for people to make mistakes and say things. And I find that admitting my gaps in knowledge and exposing areas where I need help proactively, on the front end, in a team environment, can generate an amazing result. Although it does take, I have to admit, it takes courage, it takes confidence to do this, because for me as a leader to get up in front of a team and say, I don't know this, it really can expose a lot. But this is this learning in public concept, this admitting my weaknesses in a team setting with the intention of leveraging others' strengths to train, do an in-the-moment training and fill in said gaps. And I've been on many teams where collaboration is just stifled by the egos of individuals, or just the context of the team, where people just don't want to expose weakness, and therefore it's hard for others to help. And but I found by communicating the gaps and swallowing some pride, others will naturally step forward to fill in those gaps. It's amazing to watch. And the process can be leveraged by using a very simple medium, like a dry erase board or a big piece of paper with a bunch of different pens. I like to use many different colors, and then I create a format where anyone at any time can grab a pen and add to the sketch, whether it's scribbling. And that's the whole point, is let's do popcorn style, leverage people's creativity in the moment there, and build this sketch that then the work product becomes incredibly valuable, because after time everyone's contributions are there, but at the same time it can be really messy and almost like an ugly sketch out, as I would call it, right? And then it's my job to take that ugly sketch offline, clean it up, kind of get it straight, get it clear, and then bring it back around to the team and make sure that we're all in alignment. And this can lead to an extremely effective and efficient process. And it's interesting how it starts with a little bit of vulnerability on my end, on the front end, to begin this process. So let's break it down a little bit. So vulnerability and humility, right, in front of the team as a leader. This can be challenging, because showing weakness is tough, especially, if I'm in an environment where there are, lots of smart people. And actually, you know what? I should do a post on this book called Tribal Leadership. This book, I just thought of it right now, is a great book to learn about different types of folks and language and how we contribute to team, and how to spot where people are at and how they might interact with the team based on their language, and where they come from. So, however, I think to the code of honor, I think commitment before ego. And I think, what's my commitment to this team, to this project, that's above myself being comfortable and not admitting some weakness? And I go, all right, commitment before ego. Let me commit to the team, and let me just throw this out there and admit I don't know this. And this is this example of vulnerability being a great leadership tool. Okay, so then what happens next? And so I say out loud where help is needed, and people contribute to fill in the gaps. It's pretty amazing. Others feel empowered to do this. Excuse me. And this is this lead with action. I lead by taking action, and then I'll notice a domino effect happen. Right? I admit the gaps, and then all of a sudden one person begins to contribute, and then someone else sees that, and then they contribute, and then all of a sudden you start building, and everyone becomes empowered to grab a pen and add to this sketch. And this is this learning in public concept. Opportunity for training. You might just stop everything right there, and then Sally will give like a 3-minute training on, this is how you go through that platform and click through and download this, or this is how you would do that, and then now everyone learns right there in the moment, and then we move forward. It can be a very, just a very empowering experience, and the team gets closer. The work product becomes more refined and more valuable. It's just on so many different levels. You move progress forward in a huge way. And then now this ugly sketch concept, and I have one right here, and I'll talk about it in a second. And so what I'll typically do on the front end of this meeting is I'll intentionally put something in front of the scheme that I've put together, a diagram, a schematic, a workflow, even if it's, and usually it's not polished. Usually I'm kind of like starting with something that looks a little bit ugly and is missing things, or maybe I even know I'm intentionally doing it wrong because I just don't know, but I have to have something with the intention of them throwing darts at it. It's like I'm putting this up so that it can be ripped apart, right? And once again, this is like this dry erase board or a large piece of paper, or maybe I'll just print out on a like a DRC size sheet the schematic that I came up with. And then I have lots of pens and markers, and colors are important here. And then everyone jumps in and they just start scribbling on and adding to it, and we're talking through processes, we're talking through workflows, we're talking through why this part might be wrong, or why it's got to be moved over here and switched around, and then someone else brings in expertise, and we just kind of leverage each other's excitement to make this sketch ugly but incredibly valuable. Because it contains everyone's ideas and feedback, and because everyone's there to witness this whole thing, kind of naturally, the good ideas will just come to the top, and I'll walk away with a sketch that's really valuable. That I know everyone signed off on this just because they were at the meeting and they contributed. And that's a challenge as a leader, is to make sure that no one's kind of hiding out. No one's hiding in the shadows. Make sure that everyone's grabbing a marker and stepping forward. And so then I go offline, I take the ugly sketch, I clean it up a little bit, and then I recirculate it to the team for like refinement, for alignment. And with practice, like one iteration of this can produce severe progress in a very short amount of time. And that's what I love. And so I'm going to hold the sketch up. You're not really going to be able to read it, which is kind of not really a big deal. It's just ugly is what it is. It's scribbled. It took about a half an hour to create. It was my I-Core team with one of the instructors, and what this is it's a workflow of how our technology becomes a product, who that product is sold to, who that customer sells their product to, and then who is the true end user of the final result, and to kind of make sure that each person along the way is getting value, and what is that value, and what do they want, and and what are they getting out of the deal. And you can kind of see, this is just, this needs to be cleaned up quite a bit. It's rather messy. It's almost impossible to read, but it's extremely valuable. So the first thing I did after this meeting is I had this scanned in, so that way I didn't rely on the one piece of paper. But all of us from this meeting know what this means. And so my next step here is to clean this up and get it back around to the team, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything and that we got it right. And then just in that one iteration, it's going to produce. Now I'm not saying it's done, but it's going to produce a lot of really good questions that would not have come if we didn't have this like humility and this vulnerability during this meeting. It's very easy to get stuck in my ego and not want to admit that, and then kind of like check out of the meeting because my feelings are hurt because it was exposed that I didn't know something, or I didn't, or even worse, I didn't even want to admit, and I just gloss over it. and I just skip right over it. Because like, what's the value there? What's the value of having, because we got 4 people in a room together. That's, meetings are expensive. Meetings, it's being able to leverage meetings is so important, because wasting people's time, I mean, this is the double-edged sword about leadership, is that, not making a decision is making a decision, right? And in everything I do, I am training my team on how we work together. And so if I have a reputation for, admitting weaknesses, admitting gaps in knowledge, admitting this stuff, people come to these meetings excited to contribute. And if I do the opposite, if I don't want to do that stuff, if I want to act like I know everything, then people come to meetings and they're going to be like, I'm going to check out of this meeting because Greg knows everything already, right? There's no space for me to contribute. I just have to show up because, he's my boss or he's my lead on this project. And so there's a scheduled meeting, so I'm going to show up. But I'm going to bring my laptop and do email the whole time. As opposed to, I'm going to come and I'm going to be engaged because I'm going to be excited to move this forward. So anyway, I just find this to be a really critical thing. And so I really appreciate Russell Cox. Thanks for teaching me, about this. And we practiced this quite a bit. And it was cool how I saw it come up in I-Corps, and I just think it's a critical piece to really solid team togetherness, cohesiveness, really making progress as a team. Because it's rather easy for me to go in my office and close the door and just focus on one thing and make progress, or think I'm making progress. But leveraging a team and really, not just having a team with individuals doing individual things, but working together and building something together. This is a great way to do it. So the concept of learning in public and the ugly sketch. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I found a lot of success in using this method as I lead, as I'm part of teams, and I hope you do. And that's what this channel is all about. It's all about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur, the things I'm doing that are creating success, and I'm starting to really see a lot of cool things coming back to me. I'm manifesting a lot of really exciting things, and it's all about relationships and timing. It's all about vulnerability, humility, commitment before ego. I mean, all these things just keep showing up, and I'm excited. I'm excited for all this stuff, and I'd love to hear about your journey. So please comment below, subscribe, let me know what you're up to. Would love for that. And then let's see what else we got. We got some motivational videos linked down below. Check those out. Those really got me on a great path this year. I got some great music down there, some psychedelic ambient, a DJ set from DJ Sabo, and I will take an action this week. I will find some more great music for y'all. I've been posting those for a couple days now, or a couple weeks, and then I got my beats in the background. So G Money's my alter ego, and I write these beats. They're almost like beat songs in a way, but check them out. They're on SoundCloud. You might like them. I find that they're great to work to. And that's about it. So have a great Sunday. Inspire folks today. Be of service. Do some great things. Prep for the week so that way you can crush it. All right, y'all. Talk to you tonight.